All right, Sal, I think we're on, man.
Yeah, it says live on mine.
It says live on mine. I know.
What's
Look at us two old ass dudes right here trying to figure out how to do a
Hey,
live
don't
stream.
categorize me in your oldness, bro. Let's just get
I'm
to the
doing it.
product.
We're going right from the rip, son. Let's come in hot. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the FocalFlip podcast. It's your boy, Mike. This time, first live stream. And it's episode number 69. No pun intended for
dude.
a comedian. For a comedian, Mr. Sal Calanni. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you. Thanks for having me, Mike. Is it Mike or Michael? You go by Michael?
I go by
I know he was Big Mike. That's how
Dude,
I know.
You gotta go with Big Mike, man. Go with Big Mike.
BM is what we call him for sure.
That is what BM is. BM in the group chats. Oh my god.
But
some exposure right away, baby. I love this.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on your first live podcast. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude, got a special to promote. That's why I'm here, folks. Called Mental Spillness, and this is a mental health podcast.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'll give you guys a little bit of the backstory here. So Sal and I share a mutual friend. We've met through a mutual friend named Jason Stefani. He's a great dude.
Damn, you just put cool names out there, huh?
I don't even care. It doesn't matter. So we met through our boy Jason, and Jason got us connected. I met Sal through a couple of different parties in our friend group, and then come to find out, he's a comedian. He lives in California, originally from Ohio. A lot of these comedians from Ohio, I've grown a fascination into the success of a lot of these comedians from Ohio. But Sal and I reconnected, and he had this comedy special coming out, and it was called Mental Spillness. And with me being a mental health coach and having a mental health podcast, we thought it'd be pretty cool to just kind of connect and talk a little bit about his story and promote the special that's coming up. So Sal, I appreciate this, man, very much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the support, and yeah, it comes out this Thursday. So, and like you said, we were talking about all this technology so new to us, and like I'm figuring it all out. Like now, you just have to put it on YouTube, and that's what you do now. And we're all have to succumb to the algorithm and do what it wants, and like, try to get subscribers. And I don't have enough subscribers, but it's just like, whatever, man. I believe in the product. I'm not no marketer. That's not why I got into comedy. What I talk about with a lot of my friends, like we're like, 20 years ago, would we have gotten into this if we knew we just had to become these, video making whores? And we're like, nah, you got into this so you could just go tell jokes live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so we're all you got to adapt or die now. And that's what it is. And yes, whatever, figuring it out. But I believe in the product. I think we shot something pretty cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing it.
Well, that's awesome. I love it. I'm huge into comedy. I'm big. I have humor in my every single day life. It's my only way of getting through. Mm-hmm. So it's funny how you said that with everything that's going through Reels and all of this short media content that's coming up. You see a lot of comedians popping through on these algorithms, and I see a lot of funny material. So I just thought I'm a big believer in some spiritual stuff. So the fact that we connected on this, rolling into this episode with what dominates my algorithms on social is comedians. Okay. And I think the reason that draws me to that is because, I went through, I feel like comedians tell the truth better than everybody else.
Yeah, baby.
And
it's easy to digest their truth too, because they're making you feel good and laugh while you're serving it.
Yeah. And absolutely. Well said. That's what I think for me, like I've always loved humor. I like being funny. I enjoy, I found out a little more quick-witted person. But the more that I went through my pain and my struggles and stuff, and I got healthy, the more I'm like, man, these dudes like are authentic as can be. They're telling the truth. They're like they're just shredding it. And then I started following how a lot of these comedians got sober, and it's like a lot of them tapped into their superpower, and some of them are even funnier than before. you know? So it's just fascinating. So I wanted to kind of explore a lot of that stuff with you while, learning more about your story.
Yeah, sure, man.
So tell me about the
It's
background.
interesting. What's that?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, like, well, a couple things. One, like what you're saying about comics, and then yeah, you sober get the guys. This is 10, 20 years sometimes. And the problem with the new social media world is you don't have to be on the road banging your head for 10 years to get any recognition now. You can get it in 30 seconds, right? But that doesn't necessarily equate to you doing good at live shows and on the road. However, in comedy, any dick and pony show, the first thing they go to is comedy clubs. And comedy clubs want to sell out, and the dick and pony shows sell out. So they go, okay. So that's why sometimes there's a little annoyance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you look at it as the art. And but you're right. Also, though, with comedians, and I don't know what the mental health connection is, they're definitely a lot of comics, yeah, they try and speak truth, and that's what makes it funny. And what's great about comedy too is you could see if it's not authentic, you could see through it. And and I've heard people say how comedy is the ultimate justice. And I'll give you an example. Like, you can be famous, it doesn't matter. And this is a great learning experience. So I got to come up in San Francisco in comedy, and one thing about San Francisco, after Dave Chappelle left Chappelle's show, he would only perform in San Francisco because he loved that club, and he was just like, the do what you want, he comes in, whatever. So anyway, he'd come all the time. It's something like over 50 times, right? One time he brought Chris Tucker with him. Now, Chris Tucker was just mainly still movies, Rush Hour or whatever. And so Chappelle did like 15, and then he brings up Tucker, and Tucker does like 20. Now, granted, nobody wants to follow Chappelle. He's like the strongest. And Tucker's a little rusty, and he, in the first 5 minutes, they love it. It's him. And then he's kind of having a tough time. He's doing old Michael Jackson jokes. And then Chappelle goes up there and destroys for 2 hours. And then I see Tucker later just like walking around the club staring at like headshots. And it's just kind of like you could see like it didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter how famous or whatever. The comedy, like, it cuts right to it. You see?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're not constantly working that muscle, you lose it. It's not easy. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys, once you get into movies and stuff, you don't want to go back to comedy. That's not.
Gosh,
it's not necessarily, But anyway, yeah, I was going to say too, though, I have so many. You'll see in my special in the credits, I put some pictures with comics, and I have so many pictures with dead comedians, and it's crazy, man. And a lot of them are, it wasn't old age that killed them. So it's a crazy, I think too is the high is there's a high, man, when you first do it, and ever since you did it, and I always compare it to like that first taste. And you always want to get it again. And when you got a room laughing and with you, there's no greater feeling. So when you go do that, and I got to go on the road for a couple years. I was touring with Tim Meadows and like constantly do it. Then you kind of see like why some people aren't so happy with the road. Like, the roads work, man. Like, the hours, it's all messed up. Like, you can't, your sleep is all messed up, and all that matters is you gotta kill. You gotta bring it. You know what I mean? There's no excuse.
Yeah, you gotta stay on your game.
Right. So like you constantly be going and you do it, but you'd see like that's how you get like tighter. But what happens is you got those highs, and then you got to go get some sleep, but you can't get some sleep yet. You're still riding that high. So that's why guys get into drinking, or that's why guys get into weed or drugs or whatever. And then to come down, and then the next day you starts all over again. And then so it's definitely, and then Monday comes around and it's all gone. And you got nothing, and you don't know when your next job's coming, right? So,
golly, that's wild. Yeah, it's the hustle.
Why, it's
the hustle and chase. Well, let's talk about that, Sal. What brought you into comedy? Tell us a little bit about where you're from and about that first time doing it.
From Cleveland, Ohio, the suburbs of the West Side. That's where I met Jason in high school. It's like before high school. I think I was like in 8th grade or something. And we met him in the local park where the kids would play the basketball and
Nuh-uh.
football.
That's
Yeah,
where you
how I
guys
know.
met?
Yeah, he was like a bully too, man. He was mean to me. I used to I sucked at
Jeez.
basketball. And I didn't know how to play. I was tall, but I didn't know how to play. And I remember too, one time I had this open drive and he passed me the ball and all I had to do was lay it up, and I know how to lay up. And I fucking banged the shit out of that metal backboard and it just clanged all
Like a long cane poly?
yeah, it like clanged to the friggin' half court.
Ice
Goes,
man.
what the hell? So, and I remember another time I like popped up in baseball and I lost this game, and then him and his other guys, they like took me, threw me over the fence with my bike, and like this was my teammate. So, but then we got to know each other.
Me as a coach would pass on that, my friend. I would love to commentate on you being a tall dude on a fast break and bricking a layup.
Well, so I'll tell you what happened. I kept playing basketball with these guys, and I got good. And then I started to beat them. And then once I started to beat them, they couldn't beat me, And then it came to a point where like every time I go visit Jason, almost like once a year, we'd have to play one-on-one, and I'd make sure just to beat him, just to let him know I still can. But
I didn't know this story. I didn't know this story. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, dude. Yeah, so we go way back.
Oh, hey, Jason, that's what you get for being a bully when you were younger, bud. Karma, baby.
And then I had all this like anger in it, but now he's one of my best friends because we've been through so much together, and yeah, man, we've been through everything, and it's one of those things too. Like you see the guy from back in the day, and you're still like you don't lose a step. You know what I mean? It's just like That's what I love. But yeah, he's great people. So yeah, I grew up out there. What got me into comedy? I'm not really I really got into early '90s SNL when I was like in high school. I'd watch it a lot. So yeah, I loved Farley and Spade, Sandler, Meadows. I got all into those guys, and then. I knew Cleveland wasn't for me. That's another thing. I went to college. Jason and I went to the same college, so sometimes we'd carpool.
What college?
Cleveland State. We went to Cleveland State University.
Oh, that's right, Cleveland State.
Yeah, he got
for not remembering that.
Yeah, and I got a degree in biology, and it was hard as fuck, dude. But I loved animals, and I wanted to get in it. So I got all the science, and then, but it was hard, and a lot of people gone on to be doctors, and I didn't want to do it. And then my last year, I made a short film called First Date Faux Pas. And Jason's in that as well. And I put all my friends in it, like everyone in our friends group at that time. I made this short film and I put them in it because I kind of knew I was going to move to California because I just didn't want to be here anymore. And I made it, put them all in it, and then showed it at college. Cool. Yeah, I took an acting class and stuff. So I knew I liked that. And even like the teacher really liked the film. He's like, oh, man, you did really good work for your first time. And like it was way too long. It was like 20 minutes, but I put all this music. I really liked it. But so, yeah, I just knew, but I didn't know stand-up yet. Like when I first came to Cali, I did an improv class, but then I also noticed like stand-up. And then I did like a stand-up open mic, and I took a stand-up class. And then I just started, when that second open mic I did, I got a laugh. And once you get that laugh, you just keep trying, Or actually, no, the first one, it was the first one. I got a laugh, but it wasn't until like one person out of 3 was laughing. But that one person, and you're like, oh, okay, this could work.
Got one.
And then, you start doing it. And then that's the thing, too. Like, talk about mental health, like showbiz in general, you get knocked down every day. You get told no, you get this and that, and no one believes it. You gotta believe in yourself to even do it, to put out, no one's asking me to put out a special. You just gotta believe in yourself to do it yourself. I book my own shit. I gotta convince them to book me. You know what I mean? Like it's a constant. But even a lot of these clubs, I do these clubs. I just did this club in Nebraska. Great guys out in Norfolk, Nebraska. Norfolk, that's how they say it. But it's like
I saw your clip.
Yeah, no man's land, right? And it's like that's where Johnny Carson grew up. But the guy who started, he thought they could use comedy there. So it was his dream to start it. You know what I mean? Like no one was like, hey, you got, you know what I mean? So it's all about creating it yourself in showbiz now, especially now more than ever with like, everybody can just do shit online. So Yeah, man.
Such a hustle. That's
It's
such a
a
grind.
hustle. Yeah, and
That's,
that's why people get down all the time, man. It's really easy to get down in this game.
yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. First, I think that's really cool that you included all your friends in that short film. I think that's actually
Yeah,
awesome.
Jason and I were just talking about it the other day because one of our friends was dying of cancer and he lost a lot of weight and he was like completely bald. So I made him wear a toga and be like a guru in the film. And so
Dude,
and then I got all these great bloopers. And there's a funny blooper of me fucking with him, and he's just sitting there in the toga. And he goes, "What the hell are you doing over there?" So yeah,
That's awesome.
I've always liked to make people laugh, but it took a while to figure out how I would do that.
Wow. No, I think that's cool, especially when you first get that first high. It is an amazing feeling when you can hold a room or you can capture a room at first, but then it's a whole other level of holding a room, right?
Right. That's the thing too. I call it like the sophomore jinx. It happens a lot of times with bands. Like the first album they blow up, and then when you got to keep it, it's not there. And a lot of times in comedy, you got this first 5 to 7 minutes you've been trying to save for your whole life. So you got that, but then to keep it going, and then to keep it. And I've worked with guys. We do competitions. First round's 5 minutes. Anyone's funny in 5 minutes. That's sometimes the toughest round. Next round's 10 minutes. Then you get to see. And then the next round, 15, 20. Well, then that's a whole different.
Yeah.
So it definitely, but I mean, you see the guys that are good. I got to, because that's the thing. Like, when you take it, like to me, it's an art. So any headliner, you kind of respect the headliner because that's where you want to be. So whenever I'd work with these guys, it's about them. You know, these guys and girls, it's about them. It's not about you. So you want to have a good show, but it's about them having a great show. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I got to one time open Oddball Festival. It was like this fest that went all over the country. I just got to do it in the Bay Area, but it was cool. Like I did the side stage. It was huge. It was all these people. It was the first time I did a show. And when I walked off, my social media was blowing up because people were there and saw me there. So that kind of it was kind of crazy to me. But then I got to stick around. That was just the opening on the outside and then stage. And then I got to watch the main event. And that event had tons of it had like Brody Stevens was hosting, rest in peace. And then there was like I think Mark Maron, Sarah Silverman, Chris Hardwick, Moshe Kasher, and all these comics, right? And they were good and they're strong comics. But then Jim Gaffigan came out, and then Louis C.K. And you just saw like another level, and you're like, oh man, dude, like it's just when you see the guys, and that's what's great about comedy. The longer you've been doing it, you get better. I mean, these guys are like 30, 40 years in, man. You know what I mean? And they only get better.
That's wild. Yeah. So all right, man, this is cool. I appreciate you sharing this story because I've had so many questions just in general, just on the chase and especially moving to Cali and doing that because like, you know, when you come from Cleveland and you go out there and you're chasing your dreams, I now know, now that I've gotten sober and I've kind of started my own thing for myself, like I realize the hustle and the grind that it takes. And it is an absolute grind. So when you take yourself from, Ohio and you move out to California, cost of living is a little bit higher out there too. Your dream is comedy at that point. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing to kind of make ends meet with that, like financially, while you're chasing your dream out there and making the connections and all of that? So what did you choose as a career or jobs that you
moved out there? I got a job in sales. I sold copiers for 3 years. I wore a suit every day. And
no way. Really?
Yeah. And I was making good money, man. Like, especially being like early 20s, like 23, making, 60 grand a year, just me. It was so easy. And so but I hated it. I was depressed. I wasn't happy. There was no creativity. I had like 4 different vice presidents in 3 years. You just notice the corporate bullshit and the shit rolls downhill. And Yeah, I was just miserable. I don't care about money like that. I never, and that's probably cost me a lot of problems and stuff in life. But like,
It may have saved you from a lot too.
I mean, because it doesn't matter. Time's more important. Like once you're dead, it doesn't matter. And I've seen people go out like miserable. Like what's the, you know what I mean? So like,
Man,
so I
pretty.
didn't care. I was miserable. And then what happened was, I always say this story. One day I was getting out of my car. I parked my car in the street, and I was getting out, and my feet are on the door or on the street. The door's open, and this bright headlight is right here next to my head, and it's this giant white pickup truck, and it was this drunk driver just flying down the street, and he hit my door like an accordion and just smashed it, and he like didn't hit me, and then he kept swerving down, and he almost hit some woman across the street, and then he was gone. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I almost died a copier salesman. So I was like, fuck that. So then I grabbed a piece of the truck and a piece of my broken car, and I tied it to a string. And then I found this Neil Armstrong quote, also from Ohio. And it said, I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine. And then, like, I hung that up on my wall, and then I quit my job like a month later. And
Wow.
I've wasted many a heartbeat since then. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah, that's wild.
so yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why I quit. And then within 4 or 5 months, I was out of savings. I was like,
Yeah,
like when you have no money coming in, you're like, whoa. So
it goes quick.
yeah, dude, especially with rent out here. And so then like my buddy
Wow, man.
mentioned, I remember because this guy told me, and he came to my live taping. So it's amazing how everything circles. But a lot of the people, a few of the people who sold copiers with me 20 years ago came to the taping. It was awesome. Like the show was great. All these people came out. So this guy goes, he goes, yeah, I got this friend. He does catering. If you ever want to do that, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be fine. I'm a comedian now. And then boom, 4 months later, out of money. So like, I started doing catering for years, dude. Like I bartended a lot, doing it. I bartended. It was great because with catering, it was cool because like it was always different. Everyone I was hanging with, like the guy I worked with specifically too, his group was a bunch of surfers. So they were like the guys they added when the corporate ones needed more people. So we were all the whatever, you know, we were always like chill. And we always had a little friction with the people who worked for the companies, like, fuck you, you fools. You know, so it was a constant little, and these guys, I remember one time, like, because these guys were
Part
all
of the
like,
catering.
yeah, I was just with the surfer crew, but these guys were like surfers, and we're all tall, but these guys surfed and they had long blonde hair. And I remember one time we did this gig, and it was all Japanese women business Japanese women who came from Japan to Treasure Island, which is the island between SF and Oakland in the Bay. And there was this huge party. It was like 1,500 of them, and no men. And they were blown away. And I don't know if you know, like, it's funny, like Japanese people see tall white people, it trips them out. And they were all just started getting photos with the guys, and they started this conga line and started dancing, and then grabbing all these like caterers and making us dance with them. Like it was insane. But anyway, yeah.
That's awesome.
So I did that for years.
You tall white dudes into these younger Japanese women, and
yeah, it was so bizarre. And they just, and they went on the stage. And I remember too, like the staff afterwards was like, it wasn't safe. Like there was way too many people on that stage. It wasn't meant for this. I don't know what's happening.
What is going on?
Yeah, so I did that for a while. And then I got in more and more at the comedy clubs and started making more money doing comedy. And then I taught some comedy. And then trivia, I still do trivia every Wednesday in LA because I love trivia. It's a group, it's fun. And I've been doing it for years in San Francisco. I had a couple running, and now I had one here, and COVID ended up killing it. So then I got a new one now. But it's just something to have consistent every week. And you perform. Cool. And a lot of them now are my good friends, and a lot of them yeah, man, they support me. And so like, yeah, that I was doing, but yeah, man, it's a constant struggle. And then even you come down here and it's like, it's never enough consistent work. And like I said, I was on the road 2 years with Tim, but then last year, he's got other work. He's got TV shows and stuff. And then, so dries up, and then I got to try, I'm trying to get stuff for myself and this and that. And like I'm doing first time next month, I'm doing Calgary, not to brag, but I'm going to Calgary, Canada. But I've done Canada before, and I always want to do Calgary because Banff is there. But I've been emailing and trying to get in this club for 2-3 years. You see, and like, cause when you ain't famous, it's a lot harder, man. Because nobody knows you. You got to prove it to them, which is fair. I get it. That's the game. And that's what I'm saying. When you've been truly doing this for 20 years, you're used to that. You're like, okay, just gotta. You can't go, oh, I'm too big for that. There's no such thing.
Your ego can't get involved with it.
No, and like I said, back to Chris Tucker, Dave Chappelle. Like it's like you can't have an ego about it. You know what I mean? That's what It's just and it's just what it is. And everyone's used to it.
Before I get into more of the mental Spillness stuff,
January 29th, YouTube, Thursday.
Yeah, January 29th, YouTube.
I'm going to do a live.
Idris Elba. Yeah,
how's it going? I just put a new one where I'm looking through dumpsters. But go ahead.
So, all right. What I was going to ask is, touring with Tim Meadows, that's pretty cool. What's the coolest thing you've learned from him touring with him, or what's the greatest thing you like about Tim Meadows?
No, that's a lot there, bro. Now he's a great guy. He's generous.
You can unpack it however you want, Sal.
Well, my favorite is the stories. Like my favorite is after the shows, just chilling, coming down, BSing, and then one of my favorite, like when we first doing it, like we'd have dinner a few times and stuff, get to know each other, and we were in Springfield, Missouri, at a steak place at the club owner had. He goes, having this nice steak place, and it was amazing. Dude. They do something with they have them like like I don't know, they chill them to the right temperature, blah blah blah. And then so a couple steaks and dirty martinis, and we're talking, and then to hear like old SNL stories, because like I said, early 90s SNL is what got me.
You loved SNL.
He was, and he was on there. And I knew when I first worked with him, I worked with him in Portland. And that club at one time, the booker, she would ask me who I'd want to work with. And I saw Meadows was coming, and I was like, I want to work with Tim. Because I knew I loved that time. And, so then you'd start hearing stories, and then you'd tell me behind the scenes stuff, and then I would know certain bits of certain sketches because I watched them all. You know what I mean? And yeah, dude, that was always awesome. And then you also learn like just the professional of it, and it's like everybody as a performer though, you're going through like the same emotions and feelings. It's just at different levels. You see what I'm saying? I always look at it like. And what's great about comics, man, like, I don't know, there's something about when I'm in a group of people that aren't comics and they're all around and they're talking, I'm not as comfortable. But if it's just me and like 2-3 comics, and we could just conversate and laugh for hours. And I could when I was in Nebraska, the 2 openers, Joel Henson and Gary Curtis. I remember their names because they were cool as fuck. And we didn't know each other. Once, they're all from different spots. We come in and we're just... You know what I mean? And it was
hit right from the rip.
The one guy grew up on a farm, white dude grew up on a farm. The other guy, black dude, who grew up, I forget where he grew up, LA or something, but in the city. And then I grew up, it just was like, but it didn't matter. And we were just clicking, man. And so, I always look at it like all these comics, they're my coworkers. They just make way more money than me. But and Tim's really awesome. He's generous. We talk sports. We love he took me a couple Pistons games when we were doing Michigan, and that was awesome. I didn't even have to move my head, dude. You just sit there and your eyes move. That's how great the seats were, right?
Dude, that's so cool. Yep, I love it.
So he's a great dude, and he's funny, and what's cool too is because a lot of guys who start after they blew up, because Tim didn't start as a stand-up. He started in improv and sketch, and he still does improv and sketch, but he's funny, man. Like, he's been doing it now like 10, 15 years, and he was telling me like, yo, he went to open mics. He had, you know what I mean? And he's good friends like great comics like Chris Rock and Colin Quinn and all these guys. So he has those guys too, but he's funny, man. And so like I'd watch him all the time. And what's cool too is he has this ability to go off the script and just improv for a minute, and then you see those skills too, and you're like, oh, this man like a motherfucking superhero. You got all these different powers. And then you see him act, and I love his acting. I was just watching him in Peacemaker too. It's freaking hilarious because you get to see him swear a lot and like, yeah, no, dude, he's a great dude. He's a funny guy. He's a humble dude from Detroit, you know, and loves, you know, Midwest guy who loves sports. I mean, what more do you want?
No kidding. No, that's cool. It's funny you say that because I watch so much comedy. I always wondered like what it was like hanging with the guys and like in the back afterwards.
Oh, there's always different.
You know,
I got a funny story. Here's a good one.
Yes, hit the stories because I have a question there, and then I'm gonna have a question on hecklers.
Whatever.
I gotta ask the question about hecklers.
You know John Panette. So John Panette was a heavyset comedian. He was in the very last episode of Seinfeld. He's like the fat guy they make fun of and they don't help, and that's why they all end up in jail. But he great comic, but he was doing it like 30 years, right? 40 years. So he passed away like a few years ago, I think before COVID actually. But I worked with him twice, and after you work with someone once, you know, as a comic, here's another thing. You always think, oh, they remember me. Nah, nobody remembers you, dude. You gotta like. That's another thing I realized.
You gotta stay relevant.
But like doing the road with Tim, like you do forget certain cities, certain things, certain people. Like it's constant. There's so much that you don't have time to just break it all down. And so when the second time I worked with him, I was being a little more comfortable than I needed to be, and I got checked. And so I come in the green room, and my buddy's opening, I'm middling, and then John's headlining. So I'm like, and last time I was opening, so I'm now like, I'm the big cheese. I come in, I'm like, John, what's up? Mr. Sal. Remember he opened for me last time? He goes, hey, how's it going, Sal? Good to see you. I might have a little like laryngitis. Yeah, don't worry. I was like, damn, John, what's wrong with your throat, man? You gonna be able to perform? And he goes, what? I'm not be able to perform. I've been doing this 30 goddamn years. I can't fucking perform. What are you talking about? I'm like, no, dude, it's fine. Sorry, John.
Dude, just started chewing you out.
Oh, dude. It was awesome. And he was going up. And he was right. I'm like, my bad, John, my bad. And he went out there and he did his thing. Like, you got to understand, these guys been funny forever. And then when you've been doing it, and that's the thing, too, why I also put out the special, because it was perfect timing, because I just finished the 2 years with Tim, and I didn't know I didn't have anything coming, but to make this out, now it's as tight as it could be, you see? Because the road makes you tight, because you're doing at least 4, 5, 6 shows, so you do the joke one way on Thursday, it's different by Saturday night, and you've learned how to even make it. And this is you doing it.
How to get your anchors in there.
Yeah, you could be doing it for years, and then you'll come up with a different tag one night or a different twist on it. And you're like, oh, that's better. That's why sometimes it's not good to record too soon, because then the joke will get better. And you're like, oh, fuck, I already recorded the shitty version.
That's why it's art, man. That's why it's art.
It's always developing.
Yep, that's the art. So tell me, all right. So tell me, okay, we're 2 years with Tim Meadows. You're rolling in, going into mental spillness. Why this comedy special? Why title it Mental Spillness? And what can we expect from this beast?
Oh yeah, let me see. I wanted to put my tracks over here so I could remember what the hell's on it now.
And you got mad at me for calling you old right from the rip?
Well, yeah, it's like, I know it's on it, but like I wanted to see if there's anything specific, but I also don't want to give away stuff. But I will say, well, the name, I just thought it kind of sounded cool, and it kind of fit.
It does.
I like making up a word, and like but yeah, no, it definitely has a meaning behind it, because the special, I do get into like, I'm talking about Cleveland, I talk about my neighborhood here now in East Hollywood, family, Italian family, social issues. politics a little, but then yeah, I also talk about real shit. Like my dad is good. You know, lost my dad, lost my brother to cancer. I talk about that. That's like throwing cold water, but I make it funny. And to me, that's the art. And then like the heart, and then going through a breakup, like all that. And then as a comic, and the challenge is to make stuff that's not supposed to be funny funny. Like you could go up there and tell dick jokes. Like anytime you see a new comic, they're always doing sex jokes because that's the first thing, and shock is always a thing, you know. But if you really, you know, are into the art, like okay, I've done that. I want to do something challenging, and I was like, I'm gonna make this funny. I'm gonna make, you know, my brother getting cancer. I'm gonna find the funny in it, you know, and that's what's cool is because once the crowd is with you and they trust you, you could take them there. And this is stuff that they could connect to and relate to too, because everybody goes through, you know, I mean, like, you know, how many people know people with cancer, you know, and it's like, so to share that, and I'll say this, so I talk about, I don't give anything away, but I get into some, you know, a little real shit. And then, and I'll talk a little about the breakup. And I did the joke really only 3 times. And then but I did it after the recording. I was working that week with my friend, the rest of the week, opening for my friend Kevin Kamiya. And I did it one more time. And this woman came up to me afterwards and was asking if, she's like, oh, that really happened? Is that? And because I was very vulnerable. She's like, wow. So thank you for being so vulnerable on stage. She's like, I just had a miscarriage, and you know, I was just really sad, and we needed to come out for comedy, and then to see you be real like that, it was so touching. Thank you. And I was gonna hug her. She's like, no, I'll start crying, and it was a real emotional day. And I was like, wow.
That's real
and
stuff.
I was like, that's amazing that could have that impact. And I never told the joke again, but you know, that was the moment. I was like, yeah, that made you feel good, but I don't want to do it anymore. But
yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, so you do see that, and you were saying how to impact early. Like I remember when I was young, when like the first couple years, and I love talking about race because I grew up. Cleveland's very segregated. West Side's white, East Side's black. And then when I worked at the ballpark for 4 years, it was my first time with like black and white together. And these guys, a lot of these guys worked in the inner city, lived in the inner city. And then sometimes I'd hang out and I've gone to the projects there. It was so different. And you're like, oh, wow. I could see like everyone's on top of each other. So like I got to like learn and get to know like a whole different like group. You know what I mean? And there were times that I'd be like the only white dude in the kitchen, right? And so my point is, I did a show like 2 years in Cleveland, and I did some race thing, and I was making up some good points because to me it is kind of and this older black man came up to me, and I remember he like specifically he came out to shake my hand afterwards and was thanking me about to laugh that joke, and I was like, wow, man, I could have impact with someone totally different generation, a different race. And I was like, wow. So that was kind of cool too, when you realize, you know, you just gotta be like, you know, around different groups of people and different, and then then it opens your mind up to so much more.
Man, that's what I love about you. That is me as a person as well. I preach this. You could literally, I just said the other day, you could drop me off in the Bahamas and let me hang out with the Bahamians. Like I could hang out with the locals down there for a week. Like I may be the only white dude in one spot, but I'm in there rocking and hanging with them and learning culture.
Like traveling's a whole other education.
Dude, it's amazing. That's what I love about it. And I think it's cool you do trivia because I'm a big history guy. I read a lot of books too, and I like to study behavior and culture. So I've kind of immersed myself in the diverse groups too, because I became fascinated with it.
Right.
You know,
here's a joke for you. I think toilet paper was invented in the year 1846. You know what that means? It means George Washington had a shitty ass. Like, why are you always scratching, George? Just sign the documents. But anyway, sorry, go
Sure.
ahead.
That's it, bro. You have a joke for everything, don't you?
Well, yeah, when you've been doing it so long, yeah, you
It's been
start
20
thinking,
freaking years, dude.
oh man, yeah, you start coming up with stuff here and there. And yeah, that's what's great though, when you could just the longer you do it, you get to it quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you get to
Yeah.
the line quicker and get to the bit quicker. So yeah, I dig it. Yeah, yeah.
So your special's already been, you guys have already recorded
Yeah,
the
dog.
show?
Recorded it, edited it, everything. I got some cameos in it. Oh, here's another thing. I'll announce this. I got a song dropping tomorrow that's going to be in the credits of it, and it's supposed to drop. I don't know. We'll see. But it's called Liquor Store by my old band, The Hacks, that we recorded over 15 years ago. And this album, we never released it. And I used Liquor Store. I used actually the opening song, Get Out, I used for the opening. But then the closing credits, Liquor Store. And you can purchase the entire Liquor Store. And it's me singing from 18 years ago.
How can we purchase it?
It should be on iTunes tomorrow.
Is it gonna be on Spotify?
Tuesday. It drops Tuesday.
Can I get it on Spotify?
What's that?
Can I get it on Spotify?
Yeah, you should be able to get it on everything. It's supposed to release tomorrow. We'll see. I paid the thing and I did it through the CD Baby. I don't know.
I love it.
But yeah, so Liquor Store is coming out, and maybe someone could just pick that up, put it in their movie soundtrack, and break this guy off some change, huh?
That would be perfect.
Yeah, feed these cats. That's another thing. I talk about my cats in this special a lot, and I love animals, and I do talk about almost every. This will be my third album. My first two, but first one I did myself. The other one I released through a Canadian record label, and that one was called Little Dago. But both I love talking about animals in them, and so that's kind of been a thing I'll do. And yeah, so I talk a bit about my cats, but also other animals in the animal kingdom, and we'll let you learn some stuff.
I love it, man. So January 29th.
Thursday,
right?
baby. Thursday.
January 29th, Thursday.
If you can watch
what
it this
time?
weekend, it's 9:00 Eastern, and so 6:00 Pacific. And then, yeah, if you can watch it Thursday, Friday, people, I'd appreciate it, because that's, I guess, what matters now in the algorithm world. So,
yeah, you broke up on me there.
Oh, I said that's what matters in the algorithm world.
Dude, we chatted about algorithms the other day.
Yeah, that first 48 hours. Are they getting into it? Yeah.
Got to shoot them off, man. That's what it is.
I should have done a TikTok dance.
I got to get moving on TikTok more, man. I'm telling you, I'm old and I'm behind on this stuff.
Yeah, me too, over it.
Well,
then I was going to be an American TikTok, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let me let's end on this real quick, because I did like what you had said about a lot of folks that are going through stuff, grieve in their own way, because I go through stuff, and sometimes when you're handling like grief or just going through your shit, it sucks. Life sucks. It's hard to find any positive and good stuff to come out of it. Mm-hmm. So it has happened for me in a couple of my low points where comedy started to bring me out of that. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important that you said that, because I feel like once you can get a laugh out of someone that is grieving or going through a lot of tough shit, mm-hmm. that's kind of like cracking that surface, mm-hmm. And in a way that's kind of building that relationship to start to a relationship with that person, to where you may not see that person ever again, but they're going to start following more of your content or more of that content or something to be able to help with their whole process. You know what I'm saying?
Like sometimes I think that's a good song is so you associate it with something, like you were going.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Could be with a joke.
Yeah, 100%. Like, because I could be actually going through one of the toughest things ever, and it may be something one of these comedians say on there where I'm just like, man, I'm not even looking at this shit right. You know, right. What if what a great point, you know?
Right.
So what could you, what advice, before we end, what advice can you give some of these folks out here that are struggling with all this stuff that we struggle with, bro?
Boy,
When you have grief and just life. This is exactly why I got to ask a comedian, man.
I mean, yo, dude, I don't know. Like, I saw something that Pete Davidson said. He's like, go for a walk. And like, I've done that a lot. And then like the headphones, you put in the headphones, and I love the music. And I probably shouldn't smoke as much weed as I probably do, but that helps. No, but honestly, the best has been just for me. I had to dive into the art. You got to create, and so that's what I did. I dove into comedy, and yeah, and even like you go to like doing open mics. I still go do open mics and shit because there's a couple cool things to open mic. Like it's like the gym. It's like going to the gym. So what, you too good to keep going to the gym? You know what I mean? So that's my gym. I go to the mic, and but I like serious. Like I hate when people are late. I hate when people go over the time. I'm like, hey man, you gotta be a motherfucking professional. That's another thing I learned. 2 years on the road with Tim is about being professional. Like I got a friend. He opens once in a while for fuck is his name? God damn, Ron White. And he was like, look, man, he's like, a lot of it was you're going to get your flight on time. You're going to be there. You're going to have the stuff. You know what I mean? Because all that matters is you're there to open the show. Like that the professional side is what a lot of comics, because this thing, oh, I'm funny. There's a lot of funny comics. Are you cool? Are you cool to hang with? Are you professional? Can you get the shit done? You know what I mean? So there's a lot more to it than just that. I lost my point. What was I talking about?
You were just talking about
diving into the art. Yeah, that was it though, man. And going to the mics, and then like I would dive into the art, and then but yeah, it's still never it never ends. And that's the thing too. You gotta realize you just gotta keep going. But that's really, and like there's, I give you the explanation to the meaning of life in my special. So please check it out this week and you'll learn. But really you gotta just it's almost like a quarterback where you gotta have a short-term memory. Oh, you threw a pick or you had a rough play. You just gotta go out and get it. You just got to keep going because because otherwise the only other solution is you die and then it's over. So, you know what I mean?
You just sit in it. You just sit in self-pity and die.
Right. You'll just
keep going.
It reminds me of like that shit that Venom gets, that icky and that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you got to because this will always tell you what's wrong and this is that, but that's just you. You're just thinking that, you know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
It's you're the most powerful one, but it's easier to say it than do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know what it is, but it's what humans have been going through their whole lives. I mean, humans have been killing themselves since caveman days. I don't know why. It's just, you know what I mean? It's a whole different, it's a whole different thing. But you got to just, man, just keep going. You can't dwell on that shit either. That's where
that's what
helps and stuff, and just leaving, moving, whatever.
Exactly.
My cat, give my cat a hug. That helps.
Yeah, dude. I know I'm a big dog guy. No, you said you have to go create. That's kind of what I've learned too. Is if I don't find a means of expression, then I'm gonna struggle with it. So,
right, and like it's funny. Even
I gotta create. I have to create. I like to write, so I write.
Yeah, whatever you can do, you have to do it. And some people paint, and it's funny. Like even this song that I recorded, it's a lot about being so broke you'll want to rob a liquor store. And it's funny. That was 15. 20
I'll buy that song.
Still relate. It's that never goes away. We can always relate to that in the world.
100%. Been there.
Yeah.
Been there. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Well, this has been excellent. I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm excited to tune into the special on Thursday on YouTube.
Thanks, buddy.
Any other shout outs you want to end with? Anything you want to end on, my friend?
No, man. I got another. I mean, dude, check out the special. I hope you don't mistake me for an ICE agent, because you'll be like, that guy is murdering people.
Oh
But
man,
okay, that's
we will not mistake you at all.
going live, baby, going live. But yeah, so please check it out, and I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. All right, you guys hit like, hit subscribe, tap in, go check out the special. We'll have this posted up on our Facebook page. We'll have the link in Instagram. We'll have it on YouTube. This will also be recorded and over on the Spotify, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, all of our local podcast platforms, y'all. We love you. Sal.
Hey, let me show you my
what
my
you got?
cat real quick. The cat.
Oh, kitty. What's this cat's name?
This cat is Carpet. You can check her out in the talk about her in the special.
What's up, Carpet? Little calico Carpet.
All right, she wants to go. She's pissed. You pissed, Carp?
Her voice sounds like yours.
Oh yeah, dude. We're a raspy group. We're a raspy punk rocking group.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right.
All right. See you guys. We're out.